Firefighters are known for their hard work, service, and sacrifice for the community. Sacrifice is expected for firefighters, but that is reaching new heights with the Pullman Fire Department.
And so there's a lot of working 48-hour shifts to cover polls. And so there's a lot of exhaustion and some frustration just because you love the job, but you're not married to it. Like, at some point, you got to go home and spend time with your family.
Reed McPherson is a WSU Pullman graduate and a longtime career firefighter, and he says the department has been feeling the strain since the city recently cut 9 part-time firefighter positions in the wake of a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall.
So we've had guys pull like 96 hours in a row, and that's not the craziest, but yeah, it's a lot.
Part-time firefighters primarily supplemented fire operations, including staffing larger WSU campus events and reducing the need for firefighters to work overtime hours. Without that extra support, it is not only forcing full-time firefighters to work extra hours, but it is also changing the way the fire department responds to fires. It's all about efficiency here at the Pullman Fire Department, and with the part-time / reserve positions being cut here at Pullman Fire, it affects their ability to staff things such as this fire engine here, where typically they'd have about 3 people going in on any given day to a fire scene, but now that is down to 2. And although that meets the minimum staffing level, it forces them to make tougher calls out in the field and not be as efficient with their fire response.
So when we have to prioritize those tasks, it becomes very difficult. Do we put the fire out, or do we go and search? Obviously, if there's a known rescue, we'll take care of that first. Mm-hmm. But if there is no known rescue, do we search or do we put the fire out? Can't do both right now, so we do. And that's where it becomes critical.
The department's staffing struggles go beyond the part-time positions, though. The department currently has 4 career positions vacant, while 4 firefighters have been training at the academy. The minimum staffing for any given shift is 8. That means the department has been down nearly an entire shift each day. Despite the challenges, Pullman Fire is emphasizing that residents won't necessarily see the difference and that it doesn't affect their response times.
I don't think anyone wants this disrespect. So if it's less public, and really the only way we bring public attention to it is by sharing it on Facebook, hey, this is going on, great. But if the public is seeing it because they call and we say, hey, it's 20 minutes to get a truck, that sucks. We don't want that. That's nobody in the service wants that.
But why are these cuts coming in the first place? It is due to a $4 million shortfall in the city's general fund budget, which covers things such as Parks and Rec, the fire department, and the libraries, as well as general city services. And they started with getting rid of capital projects, such as construction and facility repairs, and that saved about $800,000. And after that, they cut goods, services, and vacancy holds of a wide variety of different things. They got rid of another about $2.1 million in this middle section here, and per city policy that came to part-time, casual, and seasonal staffing last, which saved about another $300,000, leaving the city at still an $800,000 shortfall. City Finance Director Jeff Elbrocht explained what brought the city to make the change.
So about 70% of our expenses are staff related. Whether that's providing police and fire or library services or recreation or utilities or street work, it's mostly people. So as we continue to make the cuts, we realized that we had to have a reduction in staff. That was the only way we were going to be able to reduce our expenses.
Hours and staffing were reduced for several departments, including Parks and Rec, the library, and the fire department. Elbrocht emphasized that leadership for each department was given the chance to plan how to reduce their staffing and that no department gets priority.
I'm very proud, I guess, of the department heads in that they are really trying to make this a collective issue. Mm-hmm. This is the city of Pullman that we're trying to solve this issue with. It's not a parks issue, it's not a fire issue, and it's not, it's a collective, and so they're really working together to try to understand.
In the wake of the cuts, the fire department put out several Facebook posts informing residents about the impacts of the firefighter vacancies and calling for the city to fill them. Even with the firefighters returning from the academy and one position being recruited for, the department still remains understaffed.
Let's say a huge pothole in the road, everybody's hitting it every single day. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's fill that pothole. Everybody gets that. Versus, hey, we need another firefighter, but aren't you fully staffed? We are, but we need to get to that 3-person engine, and we're not there yet. Mm-hmm. That's a hard argument, and it makes sense.
Pullman Fire is not alone in its staffing struggles. The cuts in Pullman are a reflector of a larger trend of declining firefighter volunteerism and recruiting across the country. Between a new generation with shifting priorities to increasing training mandates to economic pressures, volunteer firefighting is in trouble.
That's kind of what I think is leading to it's almost a collapse at this point of the volunteer firefighting thought process.
While the Pullman Fire Department doesn't really rely on volunteer firefighters, the commitment to go through training and commit 48 hours a week or more to the job is making recruiting more difficult. With that trend continuing, Shavara says fire departments are beginning to see a new reality, the consolidation of agencies and combining of resources, something that is not an easy transition for any department.
When we're talking about combining, it's difficult for a proud volunteer agency to combine with another proud volunteer agency, and now, or even with a combination or career agency, and now they are just one agency. And it's just a hard thing for people to do.
These problems may seem local, but they start much bigger. The city's budget and the fire department's staffing struggles are tied to statewide and national trends. For smaller rural departments, real change only comes when state and national leaders show their support.
But let's start making this an essential service from the state level down, and that will provide some funding to help the rural agencies in smaller cities.
Connor Seiferling, reporting from Pullman, Murrow, News 8.
Let's see if we have electrical.
Or just the ambulance system.